Welcome to Linda Liu IP course. I'm Chunyang LI from the Department of Mechanical Engineering. In this episode, we'll explore the similarities and differences between China and Europe when it comes to assessing inventive step in patent examination. While both systems share the same core principle, understanding the practical divergences in examination standards can help optimize cross-border filing strategies and guide patent practitioners in crafting more effective responses to office actions. Let's begin with the legal definition. Under Chinese patent law, an invention must possess both a prominent substantive feature and a notable progress. This means the assessment of inventiveness in China involves two elements: non-obviousness and beneficial technical effects. In contrast, the European Patent Office evaluates inventive step solely based on non-obviousness, whether the claimed invention would have been obvious to a skilled person in the art, without separately requiring notable progress. However, technical effects are also considered in Europe when assessing inventive step. Now let's look at the examination methodologies adopted by each system. China applies the three-step method, while Europe uses problem-solution approach. The structures of the two methods are broadly similar, but their implementation standards differ in several key respects. First, in selecting the closest prior art, the European Patent Office requires that the comparison documents serve a similar purpose or at least fall within the same or a closely related technical field as the claimed invention. China, on the other hand, allows for a more flexible approach, accepting prior art from the analogous fields or with similar technical effects as a valid starting point. As a result, prior art cited in European examination tends to be more narrowly tailored to the claimed purpose. Second, in defining the technical problem, the European Patent Office emphasizes the concept of an objective technical problem, explicitly excluding commercial aims, user needs, or other non-technical factors. In contrast, Chinese examination allows the technical problem to be framed based on any technical effect described in the application. This distinction becomes particularly relevant in applications involving borderline subject matter, such as algorithm or business-related methods. Third, when evaluating whether the invention is obvious, the European Patent Office applies the could-would approach. It requires not only that the skilled person could have arrived at the invention, but also that there was a clear motivation that the skilled person would have done so. China applies a technical motivation standard, focusing on whether the prior art provides a teaching or inspiration to apply the distinguishing features in a way that solves the technical problem. This approach allows for greater interpretive flexibility. In addition, the role of secondary considerations differs significantly between the two jurisdictions. For example, commercial success. In China, it can serve as standalone evidence of inventiveness, provided the success is attributable to the technical features of the invention. In Europe, however, commercial success must be directly linked to a technical improvement. Without such a causal relationship, it cannot independently support inventiveness. As for technical prejudice, both systems recognize overcoming it as an indicator of inventiveness. Yet, the European practice requires that the prejudice be widely acknowledged across the entire technical field, applying a stricter standard than China. In Europe, if the prior art points clearly towards a single technical solution, the invention may be deemed obvious, even if it produces unexpected technical effects. China does not impose this limitation. Unexpected technical effects are generally accepted as a strong indicator of inventiveness, regardless of whether the path to the invention was a one-way street. To summarize, China and Europe share the same core principle in inventive step assessment, starting from the closest prior art, identifying the technical problem, and determining whether the solution is obvious to a skilled person. However, in practice, the European system tends to be stricter and more objective, while Chinese approach allows for greater emphasis on technical effects and explanatory flexibility. Grasping these jurisdictional nuances is essential for improving grant rates and maintaining the stability of patents in cross-border portfolios. That wraps up today's analysis. Should you have any questions, we welcome your inquiries at any time.